Greetings, everyone. We, the students of Class 12 from Springdale School, Dholakua, are here today to deliberate on a very important issue, which addresses the very purpose of life, the essence of life, the gift of life. Presenting to you Abhigyata, Be the Rainbow in Someone's Cloud, a student-to-student organ donation awareness campaign. I am Seher Taneja, founder, research, human resource, and operations head. I am responsible for project collaborations and event presentations.
And I'm Yonir Jain, co-founder and technical finance and marketing head. I'm responsible for event coordination and technical support. You're privileged to be mentored in this campaign by Mrs. Ritu Madan, Principal, Springdale School, Dholakua, New Delhi, and Dr. Dipali Taneja, Senior Specialist Anesthesiologist, Deen Dayal Hospital, New Delhi.
Now arises a very important question. Why this Empathy in Action project? As you all know that organ transplantation is a medical achievement to improve the lifespan of fellow human beings suffering from end-stage organ failure. You will agree that organ transplants are the only surgeries that begin in acts of altruism. But for transplantation, we need organs. You will be surprised to know that a single organ donor can save not one, not two, not five, but up to 8 lives. You and me as individuals have the capacity to save so many lives. Unfortunately, 5 lakh people die each year in India waiting, praying, and hoping for an organ, or have to resort to living organ donation. And this shortage of availability is also the root cause of possible illegal organ selling. Statistics reveal that compared to 36 and 27 per million population in Spain and USA respectively, deceased organ donation rate in India is a mere 0.8 per million. Moreover, the COVID-19 pandemic has worsened the already critically low pool of organs and tissues. For example, 25,000 cornea transplants are done in India annually, already less than a quarter of the actual requirement. Averagely, each month of restriction due to COVID-19 epidemic leads to more than 2,000 blind individuals losing the chance of regaining vision. Now, something is amiss. Awareness. So this is exactly what we aim to do. Spread awareness through a collective platform to create a magical chain through Abhigyata, a Hindi word meaning awareness. We have designed a campaign for organ donation awareness by the high school students, for the high school students, and thus for the whole society. Now you will wonder how this will help. Well, the educational interventions on adolescents have the potential to not only improve their knowledge at the right age, but also trigger family discussions on this forbidden topic of deceased organ donation in our society, which can have greater impact on actual organ donation rates. Now here's coming on to our plan. In the initial phase, we will start by organizing webinars for our fellow students. An online electronic pre-intervention questionnaire response will be gathered a day prior to the presentation to elicit the baseline awareness of each student. Organ donation education will be provided by a 30-minute PowerPoint presentation, followed by 10 minutes for question and answers to address participants' queries. The presentation will impart knowledge about various aspects of organ donation, brainstem death, and its certification, myths clearing, and organ donor pledge registration process. A post-intervention questionnaire will be given to compare the knowledge and attitude of students after the discussion. A family interaction feedback response from participants is also sought. Based on the improvement in students' knowledge, efforts are made to encourage them to intend to donate through family discussions by students and then actual organ donor pledge registrations. Now, this brings us to the next very important question. What do we plan to achieve in the first 2 months? Very clearly, impart education, clear misconceptions, encourage family discussions, and above all, achieve actual pledge registrations in the first 2 months. At the same time, we will enroll motivated volunteers to join our campaign, train them to give multiplying impact to our venture. We will invite transplant teams of hospitals and eminent people working in this field as guest speakers for our webinars. And along with that, we are going to work on our social media platforms and our websites for the purpose of reaching out to more and more youth of the country. Now, here's coming on to the plan for the next 10 months. Once COVID restrictions are removed, we will shift our operations offline by encouraging physical sessions, performing street plays, and visiting old age homes. After 2 months of operation, we plan to set up donation boxes all over public places in our city with the help of our volunteers to seek donations to further boost our plans. After gathering funds, we will set up blood and tissue donation camps once every 2 months to convert our cause into action, which will be managed under the expert supervision of trained individuals and doctors connected with us. We plan to raise funds for the families of economically weak recipients by putting up stalls of baked goods and handicrafts. After 1 year of operations, we plan to set up our 24 helpline number for counseling and emergencies along with the ambulance services. Thus, here we present our timeline for the first 2 months and for the next 10 months in phase 1 and phase 2 respectively. Now coming on to our target. Our target is to increase the deceased, which is after death organ donation rate in India. Our target for the first 2 months of phase 1 and 10 months of phase 2 operations is to educate at least 10,000 plus individuals and organize 4 blood donation camps. Now coming on to the financials. Since our aim for the first 2 months will be to establish our campaign and create awareness via school visits or webinars, the startup cost will be minimal at AUD 275 to enable purchase of materials and services. This will be spent on website development, donation boxes, stationery and printing of brochures and forms. In the second phase, we intend to expand our operations by conducting physical counseling sessions and most importantly, organizing donation camps at schools, hospitals and local neighborhood with an estimated cost of AUD 1045 inclusive of all expenses. At the same time, we will raise funds through personal savings, inviting donations from family and friends, selling goodies at stalls, and collaborating with investors and sponsors. Of course, this journey will not be easy. At a time when webinars have become a common mode for delivering online presentation, it is a challenge to make them interesting and engaging. We will involve experts in this field to make our webinars more involving and informative. Planning and executing the webinars will take immense effort, but our volunteers will help expand our mission. We will target awareness and not insist on pledge to give time to all to understand the mission first. We also look up for potential collaborations with Mohan Foundation India, Silver Linings Trust, Services, Noto, Gift of Life Adventure, Yoda Tribe, and Rotary International. And we would like to share with you that we've actually reached out to a lot of them and they've appreciated our cause and the work we are doing. Along with that, we felt that it is very important to connect with doctors, activists who are working in this field, for it is them who have experience in this field and they can guide us on how we can go forward. Lastly, I would like to say that this pandemic has made us realize our vulnerability probably for the first time. And if there's any silver lining to be found in the beast of this dark cloud of COVID-19, it has been rediscovering our hidden capacity for compassion. And kindness is what we request all. This is Abhigyata, a desire to be the rainbow in someone's cloud, a campaign on gifting life after death. So as I talked about in my presentation, we are also aiming at the pre-intervention and post-intervention questionnaires to be able to know how much our presentations are actually helping the students we are reaching out to. So we did a pilot study. We reached out to over 1,000 people through different webinars, through different initiatives, campaigns. And here we can see that the results are, we can actually see that the awareness, the knowledge on organ donation has increased after our presentations. So this is the pre-intervention questionnaire and we have the results from them. Then here we have.
Next, we do have the family feedback form and the post-intervention questionnaire that we had after the presentation. And you can see a drastic change in the numbers because first, the students and a lot more were not really informed of what is organ donation. They thought like it's just a process that happens after death, and death being a really negative aspect that we think is in our life. we actually ignore it, and thus this has become a really neglected topic. Furthermore, as a result, we also had a website, and that really showed how the impact was made. I'll show you the website, sir. One
Now, the
second.
reason we made a website was that we actually kick-started the actual project, especially during COVID, and we realized that online is the key to reach out to more and more people. So as you can see that this is the website that we created, and this is what we've done for now, but we aim to further improve and work on it. And it talks about the Green Dot campaigns, the people we've reached out to, the doctors we've reached out to, the organizations we have collaborated with. For example, Noto and Mohan Foundation, as I talked about in my presentation, they're like the leading organ donation organizations of our country. And when we reached out and we mailed to them about our project and what we've done, they showed appreciation, and we were able to collaborate with them, and they have identified us as students who are making a change in this idea and in this platform. So along with that, Your Honor would like to share more information.
So, sir, as a result of all our webinars, we had to do something to know, is it actually making an impact? So this Green Dot campaign was actually something that surprised us. You can see that pictures from all over India, hundreds of entries came from all over India with a green dot on their palm. So what does this green dot mean? So green is a symbol of organ donation. And by putting a green dot on their palms, they are actually showing their support for organ donation. We thought that the entries would only come from the participants that were there in the presentations or in the webinars, but entries came from all over India, all age groups, including children below the age of 5 years to adults and elderly above the age of 60. Moreover, sir, as I mentioned earlier, that it's not just a dream now. We're actually doing something. And to be very honest, these actually have been my most rewarding experiences thus far. Because from challenging the misconceptions in the community to actually creating a community of 6,000 aware individuals and counting, we should have learned that who we are in the society is less important than how we shape it for the future. So this is Abhigyata, sir, and this is how we aim to change the vision of our generation. Thank you so much, sir. Is there any more questions that you would like to ask, sir?
I've got one question. And that is, how will you actually continue with the project? Because obviously at some stage you will leave school. So what happens to the project then?
Sir, sir, you'd like to answer it?
Yes. So, sir, if I get your question right, which is how we're going to take this project forward?
Correct. Because you'll be leaving school.
Exactly.
You set the project up.
So, so basically, we started with school students.
We are talking about high school students. Now, why we talk about high school students only is that we realize that if the mindset of the students is changed from a very young age, it is only then that when they grow up, they're able to change the outlook towards organ donation. So that is why first we started with a pilot study in our school. Then we reached out to more schools in Delhi. Then during COVID, when we realized that actually through our social media platforms, we were able to reach out to more people rather than just our schools. That is when on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter, we had our pages wherein we were able to reach out to more high school students. And when we take it to the family discussion, that is when the high school students were able to share it with their families. And that is how that chain of discussions on organ donation started. And that is what we aim to do further as well, collaborating with other organizations which are already working in this sphere.
Answer, the COVID-19 pandemic also introduced new measures, and obviously we had to adopt to the new normal, that is online presentations and meetings. So we initially targeted at tech-savvy high schoolers. And by preparing online presentations, we actually educated them, because even after a person has filled the organ donation pledge, the next of kin has to allow the donation process, and we are the next of kin. So it doesn't matter who we are, we are high school students. Next year, we will be going to college or universities. Over there also, we aim to highlight the importance of organ donation and create a change. because it's a never-ending process. It's a chain that we have created and we aim to create.
Thank you. Thank you.